Yes, good afternoon. We are live on YouTube.
Yes. Hi, everybody. We are live with Unparenting with Aarohi. Um, it's a new format that we are trying now. We were earlier doing it on topic based, where in Unparenting we were taking up different topics and discussing the topics. Now, after a lot of discussions with the community, with Ratnesh, with other parents, a very beautiful idea came up of why don't we look at different situations which are very common situations in every parent's life from maybe 1 million perspective. And the moment we shift the camera, we shift the window, we shift the perspective, I'm sure there are a lot of possibilities that we create or we see or we learn, maybe, or unlearn, whatever. So last live that we did in Unparenting with Aarohi was about um, feeling embarrassed, a child running and jumping in a social gathering function on a stage, and parents feeling little embarrassed about the behavior or not having a clue about what to do. And there were very different and interesting point of views that Ratnesh shared at that time. And I think you can relook at those point of views, those perspectives, about also what all can be done, how we can look at that situation in multiple ways. And today's thing was more of something that even I struggle a lot with. So I think as a parent, you always want your child to be independent, or or you want your child to take his or her life's responsibility on their own. मतलब ये कैसे कब बड़ा होगा, कब खुद से करेगा, when will he learn that when will he learn that this is his life and he has to make some sense out of it, or whatever, all those kinds of questions that we deal with. If your child is going to school, then you may have questions like, yeah, I have to pack his bag, I have to do things, मुझे उसको रिमाइंड करवाना पड़ता है उसके क्लास के लिए, मुझे उसको बोलना पड़ता है होमवर्क खत्म करो. If your child is not going to school, then uh, similar but a different set of questions are there with those parents ki the child is not following what he's saying, he doesn't know what he wants to do, he's wasting time all the time, और वो schedule करता है पर he's doing scheduling but then he's not following that, we don't know where we are. So I think to be
Yeah,
little
especially with
precise.
older children, Vishruti, a lot of
Yeah.
parents have this thing that the child doesn't follow his or her schedule of work. Yeah.
Yeah. Also, sometimes if the child is old enough, then you also have a question that, okay, this is what his passion is, but why he's not working for his passion as he has defined that, I will spend 3 hours every day for practice, and maybe the child is not following that. So, yeah, with a little older age group, these are the questions which are very commonly addressed, or maybe every parent is kind of thinking or facing it. So, Ratnesh, let's begin. I think one of the key word that we were thinking about when we were thinking of this situation to take up was the responsibility part of it, I guess. When the child is growing, we want
Right.
the child to, we at least behave little responsible about his own work schedules or study schedule or whatever kind of schedule the child is
So tell
into.
me who is responsible? Let's take it very simply. Let's take a child has made a schedule to study or do some work, but the child is not following that, not doing his project or whatever assignment or whatever the child has scheduled. Now you tell me who is responsible.
Ideally, child.
Okay, okay. Let's put it this way: who all can be responsible in these scenarios?
The
One is the
parents, the surrounding people who are in the surrounding.
okay. Yeah, so let's say the child or the parent. Well, let's leave the surrounding people. Let's say
Huh.
either it can be that the child is responsible for, let's just keep it to studies or some work, project work or whatever, or the parent is responsible. Yeah. So which one you want to take first? Which one you think is more interesting? The child being responsible or the parent being responsible? Why I'm saying is interesting because while a lot of us as parents would like our child to be responsible, but we continue to be want to be responsible. It's like two leaders in the same, two CEOs in a company. Now, who do you want to be the CEO? So that is the big question. So should we start with the parent feeling that I am responsible? And as I said, there's again nothing wrong or right about it. That itself is a very interesting perspective that, hey, I want to be responsible for my child's, let's say, studies or my child's work and stuff like that.
Yeah. I think, yeah, parent feeling
Let's start with
responsible.
that. We'll come to child being responsible, but let's start with us being responsible. So if I say that, hey, I am responsible for my child's work, what are the options that I have?
I can
Or
instruct the
wait.
child that
Another thought. Yeah, wait. Before we go, sorry, before we go there, if I think that I am responsible, so the question is, what am I responsible for? Am I responsible for the child, or am I responsible for the work? Which one you want to be
I am
responsible for?
responsible for the work. I'm responsible that the work gets done by the child.
Yeah, but whom are you responsible for? Are you responsible for the child
Ideally, it's for
or
the
for the
child only,
work?
yeah. Because ultimately, the work also we want, at least as a parent, we want it for the child. So, yeah, for a child, we want to be responsible.
Yeah, but both the scenarios are available. A lot of us get too caught up with the work, that the work is not over or the work is not of good quality or whatever it is, So we get caught up with the
But the
work
work is
and
not
not the
done only.
worker. Not done only. So we get involved with the work, not the worker. So we have to decide whom are we responsible for, the work or the workers. Yeah, because that's very important. Okay, so first we are saying I am responsible. Okay, and that's the first scenario we are taking, and in that I am responsible. Let's take the scenario of, and I am responsible for the work, and which is why
Hmm.
I use techniques like whatever reminding, yeah, nagging or
Pushing,
threatening
yeah,
or
yeah,
pushing,
yeah.
and all of those are absolutely fine strategies. There's nothing wrong or right about it. So all of us who are using it, and believe me, all of us use it, not just with our children, we use it with our spouse, we use it with our dad and mom. Medicine liya kya, you know what I mean? So
Uh-huh.
let's not feel bad or anything about it. Let's just say, I'm using this because right now I'm feeling responsible for the work. Forget the worker, forget who is responsible. I am responsible for the work to get done. So I take charge of it and I remind people and I nag people and I push people and I'm making it people, not just children, as I said, because it could be anybody, right? And I sometimes go to the extent of doing it also.
Yeah,
Yeah, it's
yeah.
almost like, okay, come now, I'll sit with you and make you write your whatever, make you do your project or make you write your stuff or make you make your whatever you're supposed to make. So here we go. We are responsible, and we have multiple options of doing it. We are normally good at it, I would say, to nag, to remind, to command, to shout, to lose our temper. We are all pretty good at it. So we don't need further training in this or nor any discussion. But most importantly, we don't need to feel bad about it. But that's the choice we are making, and that's all right. Everybody does it. Tell me who doesn't do it, right? So it's absolutely fine. I want to focus on this, it being fine. So even when I'm shouting, I should be fine by it. Even when I'm reminding, because in any case, I'm going to remind people. In any case, people are also going to remind me. So it's not just a one-way thing, right? It's a two-way thing, and it's all right, man. Come on, everything will not fall in place by just by itself. So we need to, make it happen. What do you say?
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, I think, yeah, I
Yeah.
think we are not, at least I am not so okay with that kind of behavior of mine when I feel that I'm nagging too much. But yeah, I guess it's fine
Yeah,
because
but
I'm
we
not
don't
able
know
to
how
find
much
any
is too
other way,
much.
maybe.
Yeah, but so we don't know how much is too
Huh.
much. So we'll just say one is
Hmm.
I'm responsible for the work.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah, yeah,
Now,
yeah.
so that's first option. And as I said, we already know how to do it very well. Yet various
Yeah.
tools, we may write a note, we may put a post-it, we may even do a morning meeting, how managers call morning meeting where everybody is reminded of what's the target for today kind of a thing. So we can do a morning meeting and evening dressing down kind of thing. Did you do it kind of thing? So we can do any of those things. I don't think we need to discuss those here. So this managerial perspective, I call it the manager perspective, where I'm responsible for the work. Yeah.
Hmm.
Now let's shift it to I am not responsible for work. I am responsible for the worker. Yeah, I'm no more
Hmm.
responsible for the work, but I am responsible for the worker. Now, this one I call as the team leader perspective. I'm just borrowing these terms from the corporate world. So I'm no more the manager. I'm now the team leader. The team is important to me.
Hmm.
Yeah. Now,
Hmm.
how can
Hmm.
we be responsible for the worker? What will you do if I forget that I'm not worried about the work, but I'm worried about the worker? you know the worker is not doing the work, as in the child is not following his schedule. So I'm concerned about the child per se. I'm not concerned about the work,
Yeah, so maybe
but
I'll
I'm the
try
one
and
still responsible, remember.
yeah,
Yeah.
so maybe I think what will help me is try and understand what is causing that delay or what is it. I'll try and understand the child's perspective, why the child doesn't feel like working or why the child is not working for it.
Okay, so
Or
you will
even
say
if
I will
the
start
output is not,
interacting
yeah,
with the worker. I will start
yeah,
talking to the worker, understanding what he or she is
discuss,
going through,
yeah.
as in the child is going to discuss. So we can discuss, we can understand, we can take effort to understand. Often that is where the problem is. We know what is the reason, but we don't necessarily understand it. We kind of we expect that the worker has to be of a certain kind, right? And my kind, not the worker kind. Right. So but yeah, so discuss, okay, dialogue, write notes. Okay, what else can we do if we are more responsible for the person rather than the understanding needs, wants? What else?
Mm,
Let's say I understood whatever is your need and all that, but you're still not kind of, let's say, doing your work on time or doing it
we can
completely.
explain about it and tell the child that, sorry,
Yeah.
વેદા બેટા હા હે શું હા લીવ કરી દે અને પછી પાછી જજો ને દરવાજો થેન્ક હા yeah, yeah, maybe we can kind of prepare the child once we know that this is what is causing the problem. We extend the support that, okay, if this is what it is, where do you want me to play a role or something like that? I can do this much, I suggest. And then if, uh, I think, yeah, we can prepare saying that what if tomorrow you try and this doesn't work? Or what if, even if I do this, things are not working? So maybe the
Mhm.
preparation of the consequences part can be done.
Okay. Prepare, discuss consequences. What else?
Hmm.
Remember, we are still feeling responsible for the worker. So we are thinking that this particular person who is not at an optimal level is somewhere kind of below the optimal level. As in, I expect the person to do A, B, C, D, but the person is only doing A, B. So I need to somehow, whatever, motivate, encourage, praise, buy a hot chocolate fudge, I don't know, bribe, threaten. I need to work with the person. I'm not going to do the work. I'm not going to remind him of the work. But since I am responsible for the person, I'm still thinking of what I can fill in the person. Right? I'm putting in encouragement, discussion, consequences, threatenings, lots of things. Basically, I'm trying to see how I can enlarge this person to fill in the image that I have of the right worker or the right doer.
Hmm.
Yeah, so I come up with motivational thoughts, or I come up, I don't know what all I come up with. I'm thinking of a typical team leader in a corporate world, or again, as a parent, we tend to think, oh, as you said, oh, you might be finding this difficult, so I become empathetic, sympathetic, as I said, praise. So all of this, again, nothing wrong with all of this. These are awesome things, and these are the options that are available to me when I am not worried about the work, but I'm definitely worried about the worker. So I'm connecting with him, understanding her, and then kind of the discussion goes into those ways.
Yeah, so I think what you are saying is very true, that my idea of, let's say, if he wants to learn something, he should learn this way or this much, becomes very important for me when I am feeling even responsible for the worker.
Yeah,
So,
we're not, let's not go into the learning part, but that's a little more we'll talk about in some other talk. Let's just
hmm.
stay with that. Okay, something was promised. Let's say I promised that I will finish my homework by 4 o'clock and it wasn't done, half was only done, or whatever. I will do my project work, or I will finish my assignments, or whatever. Uh, and it's not done. So see, as I said, the box is not 100% done. The quota is only 75% done. So I am now thinking, how can I, get the worker to be 100% there? Yeah, and these are some of the things, the common ways we encourage, motivate. Sometimes we talk about the consequences and things like that. Yeah.
Yeah.
And again, commonly known, nothing big deal about it. But I think it's important to realize whether we are with the work or with the worker.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
And if you, yeah, sorry, go ahead. You have some
I
thought.
think most of the time, even if you are with the worker, at the back of, as a parent, at the back of my mind, it's always about the work. I mean, this much
Really?
needs to be done. Or if he has said this much I want to do, let's say I want to write A to Z today, or let's say I want to complete this project today, I'm still with the completion of the project and not with the worker. So I
Okay,
and
so you
and
are saying that when I'm with the worker, I often tend to slip into this responsible for the work.
yeah, yeah,
Or I
yeah,
think
yeah,
my being responsible for the work is a direct development of the worker. I may also have this assumption
yeah,
that
yeah,
because
yeah,
I'm
yeah.
focusing on the work, I'm in a way developing the worker, which I don't
Yeah.
know whether that's true or not. But yeah, that's another way. So you're saying we may even switch between this, whom am I responsible for the child or for the work that the child has to do.
So I personally think now, when you're bringing these questions, I'm personally think that I'm thinking that, um, I'm kind of connecting this tool as if this can't be separated. But now, just when you are
Okay.
posing these questions, I'm thinking that, there is a possibility where we can separate these two, the work and the worker, and
Yes,
then relook
absolutely.
at the whole thing, from a little different perspective. Because right now, whatever you were asking me, I was like, not separating the two at all. For me, this was like, this is connected with this and this is connected. You only decided to do this, no? So now you have to do this, kind of. So even the worker, even if I'm focusing on the worker, ultimately I'm connecting with the work. So yeah, looking at
Yeah,
from
yeah, but
perspective.
but if I'm little aware, if I little think about it, hey, what do I want to work more on? What am I more feeling responsible towards? I think it does change these strategies a little, and I may mix up the two strategies also
Yeah,
between
yeah,
working with the child or working with the work that the child is supposed to do. Yeah.
yeah.
Okay, so let's move ahead. Let's move. The third perspective, which we talked about initially, is when I don't think any which way I am responsible for anything. Right? I think the child only is responsible both for the work as well as for himself and herself. Now, what will I do?
Tough. Okay. I think even to do this much, first I need to believe that the child is capable, which
maybe the other way
Um,
around. Maybe when I start doing some things, I will start believing that the child is capable.
yeah.
Right, but let's stay with this thought process. So suddenly you think that no, no, neither I am responsible for the work done, nor I am responsible for the worker. Remember, we're talking about the responsibility. Okay, now that I am not responsible for the work or the worker, now what will I do? So let's take a very funny example. Vishruti, you are in some other city, I am in some other city, right? Now, what you decided today, was I responsible for it? Okay, yesterday, let's say last whole week,
No,
whatever you decided,
no,
no.
no, no,
Okay.
no,
And was I even responsible for you as Vishruti, whether she is responsible enough or not?
no.
So what did I do?
You just let me be free and let me do things that I want, my way. And you
Hmm.
accepted that whatever I'm doing is fine.
Hmm. So basically, I kept my big mouth shut.
Yeah.
Meaning I was not there physically, so in any case, it happened very effortlessly. Okay, but obviously this is a very strange example. People will say, "What kind of example is this? Vishruti is not your daughter, so you are not, this." But we are saying yes, yes,
Concerned,
yes,
yeah.
yes, yes, yes. That's exactly the point. Just because she's not my daughter, should I be responsible or not responsible? So let us say I have assumed in Vishruti's case that I am not responsible for neither her work nor her as a person, right? And
Yeah.
when I am neither, when I am not both of these, what role can I play apart from keeping my big mouth shut? What role can I play now?
So many roles. I think if I want a guidance from you, I can ask for that. If I need a support from you, I can ask for that. If I want you to come
So
up
are
with
you
more
so you are
perspectives,
telling me I
ideas.
should play the role of available,
Yeah.
right? I am available, that that this guy, this dad or mom, yeah, I'm just treating you like as if you're a child right now,
Yeah.
is available, right?
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
when you think of somebody being a guide or an available person, if I don't even want to use the word guide, let's say available person, what would you expect from me? So I'm not
Support.
talking of you as a child. Suppose you as Vishruti right now, how many years you are. Let's say you think Ratnesh is available. Okay. So now what do you think of for whatever guidance support, right? For you to be responsible for your life and your work and yourself, you think he is available. Let's assume that, right? And when you think that he is available, okay, yeah, we have a
Uh-huh.
Hi,
interruption.
Ratnesh uncle.
Okay, Vedant, right now we are on a live talk. I will talk to you in the evening. Is that okay?
Okay.
Thank you, dear.
Yeah.
Okay.
Thanks.
So,
Okay.
what is this available? Now, people will say, what is this available? So, what would you want in an available person? What characteristics? Do you want me to gadi gadi motivate you, send you, wow, you are an amazing
No, I
person?
think you can, if
No.
you're just available, um, you can do as much as I say. That's all. If I need a
Yeah, but
support, you give me the
what
support. If
characteristic?
I
What
need
is this?
motivation, yeah, I can ask for the motivation. If I don't need anything, I want you to keep your mouth shut. I can tell you just keep your mouth shut. So, yeah,
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 but what makes, so there are whatever zillions of people living in this world, but what makes somebody come in that available category?
what makes somebody in that available category?
Yeah, meaning isn't by default, people listening to this talk will say, "Hello, I as a parent by default I am available to my child." I mean, what are you talking about? I mean, I'm
Yeah,
anyways available. Aren't I available?
yeah,
Is that
yeah,
so? Is that how it is? If you have a problem, do you by default go to your parents even at this age?
yeah,
What do you,
yeah, yeah.
or sometimes you don't?
Sometimes I don't, yeah.
Yeah.
Sometimes I do.
So what is this available? There has to be something about this available, because if
So
that is,
available is kind of a choice.
yeah, it is
Um,
a choice. The child anyway has the choice. The child can see the parents around him, but what is the
yeah.
characteristics of this available is what is interesting. Okay, let
So
me put
there.
it this way. Okay, if you what feeling you should have, let's say, towards me, that you will think of me as available, as a guide, as a support.
Yeah. So it's almost like when I want it, the person is available. When I need it,
Yeah, yeah,
the
yeah,
person
yeah.
is available.
Let's assume the parents are also physically available. I've got you all confused.
No, I'm still
Okay, let me
thinking.
put it this way. What I will look for when I think of somebody as available is how connected I am with that person.
Fully connected.
Yeah, only then I will count that person as available.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah.
So
True,
it's
true.
the other way around. It's the other way around in the sense that if I think that the other person is gonna whatever judge me or analyze me
Hmm,
or
hmm, hmm.
put me,
Give me
pigeonhole
gyan
me.
or yeah.
Gyan is also okay if I'm looking for it, but other gyan is okay. But gyan about me, yeah, judge me, not listen to me. Not hearing is different. Listen to me, not make assumptions about me. So I feel connected with that person, and I know that the person is in that sense available for me to go and you know. Uh, to connect at any point of time. Okay, and so that is the first thing I would say I would do if I as a parent thinks that I am not responsible, that the child is responsible. That means I need to be connected to the child.
True,
Yeah,
true.
and if I need to be connected to the child, then I need to do many other things. Yeah, and one of the
Yeah,
first
true.
things I would do is I have to observe the child. Okay,
Yeah,
what
yeah,
time he does that? What time is he doing that? How much is he doing that? How much she's doing in that? What is interesting to her? Oh, maybe this is boring to him. Maybe this is too much of a burden to him. Maybe she does not want to do this. Maybe she wants to do that. So I start observing, because when I am observing, I have the data, or whatever, the let's call it the understanding. And then when the child kind of sees that understanding, or feels that yeah, uh, this is where I can approach this person. Okay, and then when the approaching is there, then there is a lot of give and take between the two. Then it becomes almost like a, let's say, co-creation.
yeah,
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 we
yeah,
sit
yeah.
together, and if the child is feeling, yeah, I'm not, even if I am feeling, I can also give feedback. Yeah, even I can come along and say, Vishruti, what's happening nowadays? Work isn't happening. Okay, let's say if I come like that. Okay, you're not seeing it from the way of that, oh, this person is judging me, or this person will reprimand me, but this person has some observations which maybe I will share, and then we'll together see what can be created for you. In a sense, I'm just together, yeah, connected together. Yeah, and that requires
Yeah,
a lot of effort. It is not as simple as just being physically available. It has to be mentally, emotionally, socially, in all different ways. I'm available to the child, yet not thinking that I am responsible or the child is responsible.
yeah, yeah. Just a second, huh, Ratnesh? Just a second.
Yeah,
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I
yeah,
think when you just mentioned about the judgment part of it, I also personally feel that what happens a lot of times is, let's say, I think if we bring future and past in the picture, then maybe the feedback gets converted into a judgment. So
sure.
let's say last time when he didn't do that, and if I mention that this time, then the
Mhm.
child may feel that I'm being judged. But yeah, if I
Oh,
just keep
straight
it in
away.
the
If I say
picture,
last time you didn't do it, Vishruti will come straight away with an excuse why she didn't do it last time. Isn't it?
Yeah.
Right? We always have ready excuses when the moment we are asked, "Hey, why didn't you do that? Why weren't you on time?" Vishruti will say, "Oh, the milk boiled over."
Huh, 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 huh,
Right? So
huh.
what I'm
Yeah.
saying is, absolutely. So if I am there, available meaning in present tense with the child, and I
Yeah.
call it the
Yeah.
leadership position, right? Where
Hmm.
I am coming as I know that the other person is capable. I am for doing the work as well as for being responsible. And I know that just because we all have capabilities doesn't mean that we don't need each other. In fact, we need all the more each other at a very different level. If you want to call it at a strategic level or whatever level, where I check in with you and I say, "Hey, how are things?" And you say, "Oh, things are fine." So I can say, "Hey, I've been observing that you have been little struggling with, let's say, your projects," and you say, "Yeah, I don't feel like doing them." Okay, okay. So how do you see the bigger picture? Where do these projects fit in with your, let's say, studies or your life? And we enlarge the bigger picture, right? We look at a
Yeah.
much
Yeah.
larger picture rather than the smaller, "it didn't get done today" kind of a thing, or it should be done by whatever, by tonight kind of a thing. It becomes a much larger picture.
Hmm. Yeah. 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 True. 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 Totally.
Yeah. So this way, I am assuming or certain that the child is already responsible.
Yeah. Yeah. And I
I don't
think
have
then,
to teach him anything about responsibility, nor he has to learn or she has to learn anything about responsibility. He or she, by very definition, is responsible.
true. True. True.
Just
Yeah.
like just like a 1 year old is completely responsible of his or her needs and wants. Yeah, if you don't give, she will cry. If you don't if you do things, she will whatever, be happy and sleep peacefully or play peacefully. So a 1 year old is absolutely completely responsible for himself or herself. So what makes us think that a 10-year-old or a 15-year-old is not? Now, just because his actions do not match with our map that we have created for him or her, doesn't necessarily mean that he or she is not responsible. It's just that he or she is responsible to his or her needs the way he or she is seeing it.
Yeah.
So, in
Yeah.
a way, what I'm trying to say is everybody is all the time responsible for themselves. We need to really teach responsibility for anybody? So even
I
today
think
I
at
can
the
do. Yeah, sorry, go ahead, go
No,
ahead.
no, I was just thinking, I think the moment I start respecting or accepting the choices that the child is making, I'm automatically believing that the child is responsible. Yeah. I mean, his choices may be something that I may not agree with, but then, yeah, what you're saying makes a lot of sense. In fact, complete sense that, yeah, he's still being responsible about whatever
Mhm.
he's doing. True. Yeah.
So I am looking at it as actually not even leadership perspective. I'm saying one is the manager perspective, one is the team leader perspective, one is the co-passenger perspective, or just I'm just one of the team members. The other one is as responsible as I am. He or she is choosing a certain responsibility. Let's say if I don't finish my work and end up spending time on gadget, I at this age, what will you call me? Irresponsible? But will you also think that Ratnesh is an irresponsible person per se? No, no, no. You may think that that was an irresponsible act. You did not give me the whatever work on time, and you were anyway, just watching some songs on the YouTube. So
Hmm.
it
Hmm.
boils
Hmm.
down to the act being irresponsible, but I no, 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 no,
Not the
I don't need to be
person.
given. I need to be worked on responsibility. So then you zoom in with a larger picture and say, "Hey Ratnesh, this, what do you think about it? How do you take it forward, blah blah." So we can still have a dialogue, we can still have a discussion, but it's not about now. It's about overall, how is the other person seeing his life and her life. And then that is with that understanding. So on one side is observation and the other side is co-creation.
Hmm.
So we have all the possibilities available to us: responsible for the child, responsible for the work, on neither responsible for the child is himself or herself responsible, I am myself responsible, but we are together, we are connected, and we kind of see what we need to do together, how do we co-create. And then the options come from both of us. We are like, as I said, co-passengers. We are just thinking, samosa khana hai ki, kachori khani hai type.
Gulab
So
jamun.
we were kind of discussing, and then we're choosing. Okay, okay, today we'll do this. Today we'll do that.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Hmm. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
So the choice is ours, which one we want to. Possibly we do all three. I am not trying to say that we don't do all three. Maybe the proportions may be different, and depending on whichever what we role we like, um, uh, let's increase or decrease whichever role we want to. Or if in a particular situation one role is not working or one perspective is not working, if I am aware of the other perspectives, I can switch between them. If the work becomes more important, I can become responsible for the work. If the child being responsible becomes more important, I can switch there. Or if just us being together is far more important, and then things will evolve, the journey is on, then we can switch to that. So it's up to us because we are looking at it in this way.
Hmm. Hmm. Yeah. I think being available and then the child feeling connected with the person who is available, particularly let's say a parent, is something that is uh, a very interesting area, at least for me to relook at. So yeah, I have a lot of things to think,
Yeah, but
churn.
I'm again reminding that it's not that you are not available. So you're already playing all the three roles, or you're using all the three paradigms. Let's say, put it this way. It is not that you're using, it's just the proportion, or in a particular situation, you could be in one more than the other. And that's where you have the options of playing around. And then each one leads itself to hundreds of options.
Hmm, hmm,
Yeah, as a
hmm, hmm.
co-passenger, I can just be there. I can just let the child know, hey, how's your life going? I know you are going up and down, up and down. Things are not nice. I'm there whenever you need me. Is that reassuring? Is that making the
Lot
child
of
know
sense.
that I am
Hmm.
available, and still get the feeling that I am responsible. I can do things. I am capable. So it really depends. So hundreds of options in each of these perspectives.
Yeah, 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 yeah. Hmm.
I think that's good enough to pause here.
Yes, I want to, at least I want to pause here because I have a lot to think. Mm, yeah, yeah, yeah.
And I'll give you another very, very cute tip. Okay. Discuss this with your child and tell that sometimes I'll play the manager role, and then discuss the instances when you both, he or she will also tell you, and you can also tell them. Then say, sometimes I behaved like this team leader, and again, look at the incidences. And sometimes I'm a co-passenger with you. Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm just hand in hand with you. So the child also knows. The child can also come up and say, "Hey, mom, chill. Don't be a team leader. I'll do it." So
Yeah.
literally, the
And next
child
time, maybe if
can.
you are trying to be a manager, he might come and tell you, oh, please, mama, don't be a manager. No, this time I need a co-passenger.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and there will be times. Don't be surprised when the child will say, "Help me by managing me through this." Right. That's why I'm saying there's nothing wrong with being a manager at times, and at times a team leader, and at times a co-passenger. So the child may also come up with this, or you may also negotiate and say, realize, okay, this needs to be managed, right? And that's absolutely fine. So we aren't throwing away any perspectives or ways of doing things. We are just saying, let the child also be aware, and let there be a vocabulary, whichever vocabulary you want to use. Let there be a vocabulary between you two, and yes,
Yeah.
using that vocabulary, we can actually, the child can give you feedback, you can give the child feedback, and yeah, then it's more fun.
Yeah. Yeah. In fact, I was just thinking every day morning I can ask my son that, which role you want me to play today. and,
And you can
and
also tell him which role he can play in your life.
oh, yeah, 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 he can play.
Not
Yes,
just the
yes.
role you play. He can be your manager. He can say, Mama, do this, Mama, do that.
Yeah, true, true, true. Yes, yes, yeah.
He can
That's
come
very
and keep
interesting.
reminding you. Sometimes we need reminders. Sometimes, yeah, I have
Yeah.
to need them all the time.
I agree. Yeah, that's very true. True, true, true. Yeah, yeah, yeah. So let's play around with responsibility and let's play around with all the roles, multiple or millions of roles that we are playing. Let's play around with all the roles that the child is playing in your life, that is, as a parent, maybe in my life, and see, yeah, how
Yeah,
much more
yeah,
we can see through that. Yes.
sure, sure. Okay,
Thank you.
thank you.
Yeah, thank you so much, Ratnesh. Yeah, we'll see you again next week and with another situation. Whoever is watching us, who is going to watch us later also, if you have any other situation in your mind, something that you have seen, something that you feel that this is the struggling area, or something you feel that, oh, this doesn't need to be dealt in this way, or the approach can be different, or anything like that, any situation between a parent and a child, please share it with us. And we would love to talk more on that
And
and
we
see
may
the
even call you
limitless
in our
possibilities.
call.
Yeah. Yeah, but don't get scared. We'll ask you if you're not okay. We won't call you. We would just
Yes.
like to hear from you too. Anything is fine. If you can join us, nothing like it. It's best. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you so much, Ratnesh. Thank you.
Thanks, Vishruti. Bye bye.
Yeah, yeah, thanks.